Hello and welcome again to the Things Conference. I'm Alan Proethus from Capstone Partners. And today we're here with Byron BeMiller from Semtech. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Glad to be here.
And you get extra points for bringing along trinkets to show off here this morning.
Well, yeah, I had to bring my prop, so I'll talk about that in a little bit.
Well, great. Well, again, thanks for being here. Maybe you could start out by just talking about what's your role at Semtech?
So we have some a different approach that we've tried in the last year to focus our marketing efforts in specific verticals. One of those is smart buildings, which I'm leading the effort on that. So we have some other ones like smart ag and utilities and logistics, but I'm the smart building guy.
Fantastic. Well, it actually plays very well to Laura's strengths, smart buildings, sort of a campus environment. And so as part of that, you brought this great reference kit here. So I know you had a big announcement just 2 or 3 days ago. So please tell us about that.
Yeah, so this one actually came out in the summer. That we had an asset tracking kit, which we also announced 2 or 3 days ago. But this is designed as a technology demonstration vehicle for systems integrators, even end users. The idea behind it is somebody with very little technical know-how, certainly no LoRa knowledge, could have a plug-and-play kit that they could collect data and understand how it could be used in their office environment, and also sort of test the coverage that a LoRa gateway would provide in their building. So the kit has about 20 different kinds of sensors inside, which are used primarily.
Is that all?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're the more popular use cases inside a building. A couple of LoRaWAN small pluggable gateways, which then connect with a Wi-Fi backhaul to a hotspot that's included in the kit. Hotspot's global, has a gig of data, so anybody that comes in, just plug in the gateways, turn on the hotspot, and we pull the battery tabs on the devices, and you're connected.
Wow, that's fantastic. No, 20 sensors is amazing. And I still remember when you launched the earlier reference kit, because I remember going online to your distributor partners, and you actually couldn't buy it. It sold out so fast.
Yeah. So I think that's solved now. So
No, of course. It's always part of the fun of initial launch,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Getting enough product and channels.
Yes.
So in terms of the coverage, because the ISM bands vary around the world, what spectrum does this support? Because you have different ISM bands, and I know there was also an announcement this week about supporting 2.4 gigahertz as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just for clarity, for the kits themselves, we have a 915 and an 868.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody familiar with the LoRaWAN specifications knows there's various ones to accommodate the variations around the world. Most of them are centered around either the European plan or the the U.S. plan, but there's variations around. We did announce the 2.4. The idea behind the 2.4 was to make it easy, primarily for logistics applications that have global application, or they don't know where the asset is going to be. So an example was like the ship that we made the announcement with. Something like that, they don't know which port they're going to be in, and because the bands vary and the frequency plans vary around the world, 2.4 is a little bit easier. You won't get all the propagation benefits you would at sub-gig, but
Sure thing.
it's a simpler frequency band to operate in.
Well, between the FCC and the European bands, that covers almost everything. So that's a great combination in there. And I think I would be neglectful if I didn't mention you are on the board of Kaba. So maybe you could just take a second and talk about that, because it directly ties into your emphasis on smart home.
So anybody that's not familiar with Kaba, it's an old organization, old not in a bad sense old, but it's been around for a while. Focused on building automation, so it's been there since the very early days of building automation, which surprisingly has like a 30-year history.
Sure.
So most of it historically has been wired type of automation. Kaba is really a research organization, so for their members they provide, if anybody's interested, they should go to the Kaba website, because there's a lot of free material on there also. They provide all sorts of research documents, white papers from the members. It's a great resource for either smart buildings or smart homes. They also do a couple of landmark research projects every year, which are funded by certain members. They're very in-depth research into certain things like smart home. The latest one this year is on how IoT can help worker productivity in the workplace and actual, case studies on that. So these things are like 150, 200 pages long kind of reports.
No, it's a fantastic organization if you're interested in that space. And so I'd urge everybody to get a reference kit, go to a Kaba meeting if you really want to get up to speed on smart homes and smart buildings. But Byron, thank you very much for your time today and for joining us for a few minutes.
Oh, thanks a lot for having me.
Thanks.
Okay.